Luck Favors the Prepared by Maria Malzone. Making a great discovery generally requires hard work, years of study, and experiment after experiment. However, people sometimes accidentally stumble upon amazing discoveries. Some of the things we use in everyday life, such as sticky notes, microwaves, and artificial sweeteners, were all chance discoveries that changed the way we live. The inventor of the sticky note just happened to stumble on a type of glue that could be reused. The scientist who discovered microwaves wasn't looking for them. He was doing experiments with a new type of vacuum tube. Then one day the chocolate bar in his pocket began to melt, and he realized the machine in front of him could change the way people cooked. A scientist who was trying to find new uses for coal tar happened by chance to notice that it tasted sweet, thus discovering the first artificial sweetener. It is exciting to think that anyone could discover something important, such as sticky notes or microwave ovens. However, most of the accidental discoveries you hear about required more than just luck. While the discoverers may have been lucky, they were also prepared. Some of the most famous accidental discoveries were made by scientists who had been working to solve problems for a long time. The discovery of penicillin, which is a medicine used to kill bacteria, is one of the most famous stories of accidental discovery. In the early 1900s, a scientist named Alexander Fleming was trying to find ways to cure diseases and infections. While doing his research, Fleming grew bacteria on special plates called petri dishes. One day he noticed a type of mold called penicillin growing on the plate. To Fleming's amazement, the mold killed the bacteria. He discovered that the mold could be used as an antibiotic, which is a medicine that fights bacterial infections. The penicillin antibiotic was used to treat cuts, infections, and diseases that made many people seriously ill. Because of this, it was called a miracle drug. It is still used today to help save lives. X-rays were another accidental discovery. A scientist named Willem Röntgen, who had studied physics and engineering, was working as a professor in the late 1800s. At that time, Röntgen was performing experiments by passing an electric current through gas. His experiments sometimes produced sparks in the gas. Röntgen noticed that every time the gas sparked, a plate treated with a special chemical lit up. Röntgen thought that perhaps the sparks were producing some sort of rays. These rays were not like anything known at the time, however. For this reason, Röntgen called them X-rays. After making this discovery, Röntgen decided to investigate the rays further. For example, he placed different objects in front of the rays. He tested whether the X-rays would pass through the objects or be blocked by them. Röntgen's most famous image is the X-ray shadow of his wife Bertha's hand. This image showed that the rays do not pass through bone. Doctors quickly realized they could use X-ray images to look at broken bones. Another scientist who made an accidental discovery was Charles Goodyear. Goodyear was experimenting with natural rubber because he hoped to find a way to make it more useful. Natural rubber, which comes from the sap of rubber trees, is too soft and sticky to be used in many products. Goodyear was determined to find a way to change the rubber so that it would be more durable, but also remain elastic or stretchy. He tried to change the rubber in countless ways, but each attempt disappointed him. Goodyear even patented one method of changing the rubber, but he was still unhappy with the results. One day, Goodyear spilled a mixture containing natural rubber onto a hot stove. The result was the hard, strong rubber he had been seeking. The process resulted in what we now call vulcanized rubber. Goodyear patented a process for making vulcanized rubber in 1844 and then sold his product to manufacturers. Today, vulcanized rubber is used in everything from bowling balls to car tires to shoe soles. These scientists and inventors are all known for their accidental discoveries. Could these discoveries have been made by anyone else? Perhaps. But Fleming, Röntgen, and Goodyear all studied and worked hard for many years. When their lucky accidents happened, they had learned enough to understand what they saw. They then worked hard to make their observations useful. Lucky accidents can happen to anybody, but great discoveries are almost always the result of hard work.